Blessings and welcome to today's Law Enforcement Daily Devotional. Today we're finishing out Joshua in chapters 23 and 24, and we're going to jump into Judges and take a quick look at that and what we can expect as we move forward into that. Over the last couple of days, it's been really fun, and I hope you've enjoyed it too, as we've taken this journey that Israel had as they moved into Canaan and kind of looked at it as a spiritual journey for us, kind of a reflective time to see how our journey from being a non-Christian to being a Christian and how those two kind of line up, and how we can learn lessons from the Israelites moving into Canaan. In 23 verse 14, Joshua calls all of Israel together. And I think I said this a couple of days ago, and I was wrong. Joshua was not giving his farewell address 2 days ago. He's giving his farewell address today. He's getting ready to move on, and he wants to prepare Israel to move forward after he passes. He says, "Know with certainty that the Lord your God will not continue to drive these nations out from before you, but they will be a snare and a trap to you, and a whip on your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from off this good land which the Lord your God has given you." They had a time to move in and take this land, and God was with them, and God was fighting the battles for them. But at some point they got tired and they just quit, and they allowed people to live in their land. They made some of them slaves, and some of them they just lived because they couldn't control them. And Joshua says from this point out, man, you missed your opportunity. They're going to be with you, and they're going to be a thorn in your side from this point on. We equated that to our lives and our sin. We have areas in our lives that we're going to fight. There's going to be a thorn in our side. Just like he said, until you perish from off this good land which the Lord your God has given you. We have a spirit that God has given us through the baptism that we had with Christ, as we died to our old self, our old man, and we were raised again with this new spirit. We have this new spirit like Israel had this new land. But we're always going to have that battle, just like they're always going to have their battle. Just, man, to me, it's just such an awesome way to read through that book as a spiritual guide for my own life. We will have the effects of sin until we perish from the earth, like I said. The good news is we have salvation. If you're in Jesus Christ, you have salvation, and there will become a day where you'll be in heaven and you will have a new flesh that won't have any flesh in it. Does that make sense? You will have a body that is full of the Spirit, but it doesn't have this battle raging with the flesh. It will be a flesh without flesh. I love the thought of that. And thank you, Dr. Vic Anderson from Dallas Theological Seminary, who shared that in a class one day. Anyway, as we get down through this read, there's a question that we need to ask ourselves. In chapter 24, verse 15, Joshua tells them, "If it is disagreeable in your sight to serve the Lord, choose for yourself today whom you will serve, whether it is the gods which your fathers served, which were beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you are living. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." I can say that for me and my house. I hope and pray that you can say that for you and your house, that you'll choose to serve the Lord. Man, we're going to be moving into Judges, which is filled with cool stories, a book I love. There's going to be 12 judges we're going to be reading about. There's going to be 6 minor judges and 6 major judges. 6 is a number of flesh. And remember, these are fleshy human judges. God wants Israel to be looking to Him for their salvation and their um, prosperity and just for their daily provisions. But they keep wanting a fleshy leader, so He sends them 6 minor judges and 6 major judges. It's just so cool how God does this with the numbers. But anyway, um, yeah, that's going to be Judges as we move forward. So read ahead. Go ahead and look at Judges 2 through 5. Pick out if this is a major judge, minor judge. Read their story, and let's come back tomorrow and see if there's a law enforcement lesson that we can glean from this reading. Until then, you guys be safe.